CTO, the celebration station.
Good afternoon and welcome to Daylight Toronto, where we keep you covered on the happenings of this colorful city, from news to interviews. My name is Diane Aguilar.
And I'm Eddie Mainimer.
Today on the show, we'll be getting updated on the latest fashion trends, and we have a special treat for our comic book lovers.
Later, two guests, Leia Kulichkowski, an accomplished young figure skater at Ryerson, as well as yoga guru Carol Ann Williams will be joining us. Now here's a look at what's making news in Toronto today. This past Sunday marked the very first Canadian Screen Awards. The new awards combine the Genies and the Geminis into one entity. Hosted by Martin Short, the show drew in 756,000 viewers during its CBC broadcast. Flashpoint and Dragon's Den were big winners in the television categories, snagging awards for Best Dramatic Series and Best Reality/Competition Program, respectively. George Stroumboulopoulos won an award for his show, and CBC's The National's Peter Mansbridge received the award for Best News Anchor. Oscar-nominated Canadian film Rebelle dominated in the film categories, taking home 10 awards, including Best Film, Best Director, and Best Screenplay.
Yorkdale Shopping Centre has announced the opening of 12 new retailers at the mall this year, having unveiled a $220 million expansion in November 2012. Yorkdale is now bringing even more upgraded stores to Torontonians. All Saints, White House, Black Market, Murberry, and Zara Home are just a few among the dozen new retailers that will be opening their very first Canadian locations at the mall this year. Holt Renfrew, Harry Rosen, and the Bay's Yorkdale location will also undergo significant expansions and renovations this year.
Scientists have announced that a baby born HIV positive in Mississippi appears to have been cured. Starting just 30 hours after birth, the baby received treatment that was faster and stronger than usual. The child, now 2.5 years old, is not only not exhibiting any signs of infection and has been off medication for about a year. Though there is no guarantee that the child will remain healthy, the case is being considered as the world's second reported cure. The case offers hope in the efforts to eliminate HIV infection, especially in children.
There is an ongoing scandal in Europe. Many food advertised as beef products were found to contain undeclared horse meat, as well as other meats. The issue first came to light back in January of this year, when horse's DNA was reportedly discovered in a frozen beef burger being sold in the UK. While horse meat is not considered harmful and is eaten by many people around the world, it does cost less than beef and is considered a taboo food. IKEA is just one of the companies that has gotten tangled up in the scandal. The Swedish furniture giant recently pulled all the meatballs from their stores across Europe, after horse DNA was detected in packs of dozens of meatballs that were labeled as beef and pork. Meatballs from the same batch were actually sent out to 13 European countries, including France, Italy, Belgium, and Britain. Taco Bell, Tesco, and Burger King are among several companies involved in the scandal.
Well, that is quite a scandal. Everyone seems to be saying nay to this, but I say yay. Why not eat a little bit of horse meat? You know, it could be good for you.
Of course you would, Eddie. I personally am opposed to the horse meat idea.
Okay, well, you know, there were a lot of people who enjoyed IKEA's delicious meatballs before they knew it was horse meat. And now that they know what it is, oh, they didn't taste as good as when I first ate them and loved them. I don't buy it.
Well, Eddie, what can I say? You know, horse meat kind of reminds me of ponies, and ponies were a childhood thing, and, you know, it's just a really touchy subject.
I lived on a cow farm, so eating cows, it's like that for me, you know? You eat a big cow, you eat a big horse. They're both farm animals at the end of the day, so, you know, why not?
I agree, but maybe it wouldn't have been such a big concern if they had shared with us the idea that there was horse meat. I think the controversy here is that we didn't know that in fact there was horse meat in the meat that we're eating. You know, we want to know as consumers, we want to know what we're eating, and maybe people would have been a little more open to it had they known what was in their food.
It's very scary to think that we might not know as much about our food as we think we do. But personally, hey, I'll eat just about anything that doesn't move anymore.
Oh, I know, Eddie, I know. We've seen you in the
You remember that one time at the Brazilian meat buffet? I tried all those, was it koala, there was snake. There are quite a few different interesting meats.
Yes, well, Eddie, let's get that now.
We want to know what your thoughts are about this scandal. Tweet us using the hashtag DaylightTOShow and tell us which meat you'd rather eat, horse, kangaroo, or frog. You can also tweet us sharing your thoughts about what we've talked about, and we'll feature it later on in the show.
But first, it may still be a little chilly out, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't look good. Let's check out how Torontonians Amanda Paula and Dave Seton express their personal styles.
My name is Amanda. I go to Ryerson University for Radio and Television Arts, and I'm currently the content editor for I Love Lola Online and Lola Media Group.
My name is Dave. I go to school at Ryerson. I study Radio and Television Arts, and I have two kind of jobs. One, I work at Sony, and the other, I play drums for a band called Seam.
Like a lot of letters replace the symbols, a lot of camouflage, a lot of plaid, a lot of acid wash.
You know, wearing like a blazer or like a jacket over top of like a band t-shirt. So it's kind of that formal or not so formal look. And another trend I'm seeing that's really becoming popular is the denim shirt.
My staple item that I personally think that you should invest your money, time, and devotion to is the Variety Pant for American Apparel. I probably style it with an acid wash chambray shirt because A, it's baggy, so it allows me to be comfortable, and it's stylish.
Okay, so my casual outfit starts with my jean shirt. I like to layer my varsity jacket on top and then accent it with my red pants.
I'd probably do the Variety Pant with my sequins shawl that I love. I'd probably pair it with some type of independent clothing line.
Okay, so my dressier outfit would start with my dress pants. Then I'd wear my jean shirt as well, which I always like to wear. Throw my blazer over it. And then you can do a bow tie. I prefer the skinny tie, but either way works.
Usually I'll wear my riding pants with another type of like oversized shirts, and one of my personal preferences is flannel, and I usually pair it with an oversized t-shirt.
So if I was playing a show, I'd start with just a casual pair of pants. Then I'd wear my Jimi Hendrix Band t-shirt, certainly one of my favorites.
I think varsity jackets are here to stay, and who knows, maybe like a new bold color will be on everybody in the next couple months.
I guess would be kind of reminiscent of Macklemore's thrift shop song, you know, wearing like fur coats or you know, old denim jackets or old leather coats and stuff like that. I think that's definitely becoming a big thing.
We asked earlier for you to tweet us which meat you would rather eat, and here's what Vanessa M. had to say. Can we really be sure that there's no horse meat in Canada? I'm talking to you, IKEA. Eddie?
Oh man, you know, we can't. We can't be sure anymore. This scandal has changed everything.
Everything.
It's all different now.
How can we trust IKEA?
I don't know.
I remember going there as a child and thinking, yes, IKEA. My parents were like, furniture, towels, racks, blah. I was like, mac and cheese.
Meatballs!
But now
No, not
it's
so much.
just probably going to be mac and cheese.
Well, what did other viewers have to say?
Well, the kangaroo topped the vote with about 40% willing to eat its meat. About a third said that they would eat horse meat, and 25% voted for frog meat.
I'm surprised frog came in last place. Frog legs are a standard on any French cuisine menu.
Would you say they're délicieux?
I would say they're délicieux. They are very délicieux.
With a little butter and, you know.
Garlic sauce, just you name it. They're delicious. Tastes like chicken.
I have had kangaroo actually, and that was pretty tasty. So
Really?
I understand where you're coming from.
Like the pouch, or you know what you ate?
Just like a leg, I think.
Okay, just a kangaroo leg. That's normal.
Yeah.
Tanya Mehta tweets, Canadian Screen Awards were spectacular. Martin Short was a great host.
I always enjoy Martin Short.
He's hilarious.
Ever since I was a little short.
He's a class act.
I do. It's great to see Canadians actually being involved in the industry. We see a lot of Oscars on the American side, but it's good to see the Canadian side of the business where we show our talents.
Absolutely. I don't really love the name, though. You know, we had the Geminis. We had, it just seems like it's kind of a boring name. Maybe.
What would you say?
The
What would you suggest?
Geninis, the Gemiris. Got to incorporate.
Elaine Shioguchi said, love the new additions at Yorkdale. It's officially my new go-to mall. Elaine, I'm totally with you on that one because I enjoy shopping a lot, and Eddie would know that. But Eddie,
Absolutely. They have a lids there, so I'm really excited to go.
gonna get a Blue Jays hat?
Yeah, I got to get my new Blue Jays hat since that new
exactly.
logo came out. Looks sweet.
Oh, yes. Well, I look forward to shopping there.
Amir Juwani tweeted, "Wow, can't believe the HIV baby is cured. Hashtag inspiring."
That is a really inspiring story, and I'm glad to hear that that baby is going to live a healthy life.
It's so nice to know, you know, for anybody out there living with a disease to say, hey, if that baby can make it, so can I.
Exactly, it is inspiring. Cosmina G said, it's the end of the world, at least in Florida. Hashtag sinking house. That is, in fact, a very scary thought to think that your house could one day just disappear into the ground.
Yeah, was it built on quicksand or something? You know how that happened?
I don't know, but apparently there was a fatality of a 37-year-old man. Yeah.
That's terrible. It's
that
like,
is a little terrible.
you know, it starts off the day, one basement, at the end of the day, my whole house is the basement.
Eddie.
That's a scary thought. Kate Ullman tweets, Rob Ford is in court for the same mistake. Hashtag typical.
I agree, Toronto. You know, there have been controversies with Rob Ford ever since he started, and you know, it's up to Toronto to vote who you want to be in the chair, a position representing our city. And next time we vote our mayor, I think we really got to think about who we let into power.
Can you imagine if that guy wins again? Unbelievable.
I would be very upset with George Bush 2.0. Not happy with that. Renu Matucci says Diane is the hottest host on television, and Eddie is just there to compliment. Yeah, Daylight. No, this is not true.
If you're bringing in the fans, I'll let you take that one. No problem.
Well, I got to thank hair and makeup for that.
Because Alexandra Browett tweeted, what a great show. Eddie is my favorite host with 4 A's, which is 4 more than I got in my entire university career.
Exactly. You can see that you are very loved. Remember that you can tweet us anytime, just hashtag DaylightTO show.
Now, for whoever's on their way out, Tyler Zoltek has the latest traffic report for our city's major routes. Tyler?
Thanks, Eddie, and sorry, but I got to agree with Reno on that one. Looking at some of the traffic, eastbound 407 ramp to the northbound 404 was closed earlier due to some construction. They've cleared that now. The ramp is reopened, so that's good to go for the afternoon commute. Heading eastbound on the 401, east of the 400, the transfers to the collector lanes are closed, so you can't get off over there. The collector lanes are also closed at Keele, so people being forced off the 401 at that spot. We're seeing different levels of volume on the north and southbound DVP, but mainly pretty easy drive there. The 404 as well, moving pretty well. 400 Series Highway also moving great there, and no issues on the Gardner. There's 2 left lanes blocked in the eastbound QEW between Ford Drive and Winston Churchill, so a bit of a backup there. And for those using public transit to get home today, no delays on the subway. However, the TTC is reporting that the 161 Rogers Road buses are diverting both ways at Northumberland Street. That's due to construction at Ossington and Bloor. And looking at the GO trains, they're all running on time. However, the 407 East GO bus to York University did have an engine malfunction, so there's some people waiting on the side of the road for another bus to pick them up there. Other than that, should be a pretty easy commute today. Back to you, Diane.
Thank you, Tyler. Now let's go outside for the latest forecast with Eddie.
It's currently sunny outside, heading up to a high of 0 degrees, though there will be increasing cloud coverage into the afternoon. Plan on bundling up, as there will be a wind chill today of -13 to -6 in the GTA area. With increasing cloud cover, we have a chance of lake effect snow tonight, which should be pretty beautiful if we live near a lake. We'll be starting tomorrow at -3, heading up to a high of regular 3. Thursday, we have a high of 3, and Friday and Saturday, we will have highs of 4 and 5, so it should be quite the mild weekend. All week will be relatively sunny with only a little bit of cloudiness. That's all for now. We'll be back in a minute.
Sometimes we get so caught up in our own worlds, we don't even realize what's happening right in front of us.
Joining us now is Ryerson Rams figure skater Leah Kulichkowski, who has been skating for Ryerson for 3 years, and will share with us the twists and turns of competitive figure skating. That's quite the highlight reel there, Leah. And that's just you in practice.
Yeah.
So, what's the biggest move you've ever pulled off?
I have to say my biggest move is probably the triple sow cow, and it's an edge jump, although I haven't done it for a few years.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of on the back burner now.
Yeah, back in my high competitive years.
So what other tricks do you have in the arsenal? What's your favorite trick to do?
My favorite trick is probably the loop, the double loop jump. It's a really cool move, I guess.
Okay, describe it a bit. To us.
It's a jump that takes off on an edge
All right.
and you land on the same foot. It's a little difficult. It's more difficult for some people, but I find it quite easy, and it's a little bit challenging when you get to like the triples and stuff. I never was able to get it, but that's okay. And one of my favorite spins is the butterfly, and you kind of just like fly in the air, your arms spread out, and you
Float like a butterfly
Yeah.
and sting like a bee back on the ice.
Exactly.
So clearly you're a talented skater as a member of the Ryerson Rams. What's that been like for you?
It's been great, especially this season. We've moved to the MAC, the Mattamy Athletic Center. It's our home ice. Finally, last season, unfortunately, we were skating at different rinks, and it didn't feel great to be skating on different home rinks.
Right.
Now it feels more comfortable. The team feels the spirit in the facilities, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have people cheering for us when we host our championships next year right here.
Oh, no doubt. Maybe next year you guys will be able to have some members of your teams be on the billboards and signs all around campus.
Yeah, hopefully. We should be promoting figure skating so much more.
Absolutely. So how do you balance school and skating? Because you're a full-time student at the same time as being a full-time athlete.
Right. Well, during the season, it's pretty difficult, especially when it comes to midterms and competitions conflicting. Have to move some things around for the competition. But during off season, I tend to try and focus on my schoolwork more, put skating in the back burner a little bit, and focus on a few other aspects of my
Right.
life.
Well, now isn't off season. You guys just finished your last competition. How'd that go?
Yeah, it went so great. We placed 4th overall out of 9 teams in Ontario, and that's our best placement ever. We were able to gain points in every event that we competed in, and I'm mostly proud about our synchro event. We only trained it for a whole month.
Right. Not a lot of time.
Not a lot of time, and that wasn't every day either. And we pulled it off really well and made it in the top half for synchro.
You know what? That shows quite a bit of improvement. It looks really good for next year when we have the finals at our home rink at the MAC. Maybe you guys will have a podium placement.
Exactly. We are so excited for next year. Hopefully, the Ryerson community will come and cheer us on.
I don't doubt that. Gonna pack the MAC for that.
Yeah.
So do you guys have a routine in mind for next year? Are you already planning something? Anything special?
Well, our synchro program is James Bond right now, and I kind of like it. I think we should keep it. But I don't know what the coach thinks about that. We might change it up or not. Who knows?
Well, do you think you'll throw in a backflip next year, maybe?
I sure hope so. I can't do it right now, but maybe I'll pull it off.
Oh, you have a year to train. That's a lot of time.
Yep, I have a whole summer to train.
So do you have any plans for your future skating career? Next year, for instance?
Next year, I'm definitely going to be on the team again. As for the future after I graduate, I'm not so sure. I'd like to continue. I'm also a skating coach, so I'm going to continue in that direction. And I'm big on choreography, so hopefully you'll see my choreography on television one day.
That'd be amazing. So last question for you. If you could skate with just one figure skater, your ideal skating partner, who would it be?
My idol has always been Michelle Kwan.
Wow.
I love her to death. And I would love to step on the ice with her.
Wow, she is an Olympian and a champion. So Michelle, if you're watching, got your next skating partner right here. So thank you for being here with us today, Leia. You are truly an excellent example of an ideal student athlete.
Thanks.
And all of us here at Daylight Toronto wish you the best and, wherever your skating may take you. It's time to get out and about Toronto. We talked to the owner of Kensington Comics about comic books and their unique art form. Let's go check that out.
I love the art. The comic book artist, I think today is just awesome. There are so many different types of comic books, so many different titles, and every title has a different form of art form. It just drew me to it. So I just love comics, and specifically the art of the comic book. I think because other mediums, television, film, they've realized the true art of the comic book, and with the recent movies of the Avengers, Iron Man, Hulk, when you can combine a title, a storyline with cool art, and then present it in film and or TV, and all of a sudden just engage a larger population onto comic books. That's exactly what's happened. I feel that Walt Disney and Marvel have created such awesome movies in the last couple of years. The titles are finding themselves within the film and then all of a sudden going into the comic book. You can see it in the following of the movie, the TV show called The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead TV show is based on a comic book called The Walking Dead, and it is now the most popular show on TV. A lot of people don't realize that the TV show was based on a comic book. Because another medium that is so much larger watched by people, movies, TV, comic books have just had a huge resurgence in the last couple of years. You do have digital comic books, you do have comic books in their original forms, which paper. We'd all love to be able to afford, you know, a Rembrandt or whatever, but I truly think that comic book artist is today's Rembrandt because there are so many, because there are so many different types of art, and because it's so cheap. I would say about 50% of the people that come into my shop, they don't follow a storyline or a title, they follow an artist. And they love just collecting the comic book of that specific artist. The market for paper comic books are just going to grow. I see a lot of independent new storylines coming up. The storylines, it's tough to come up with a new storyline every month for 60 years. I actually see the comic book industry growing in that we need new titles, we need new artists, we need new stories to follow. Whatever gets the art form into the hands of the people, you can lose yourself so easily into a title. We all love reality television as a form of an escape. When you have an idea, you can do everything and anything on paper and in a comic book. Keep buying comic books, enjoy the art, just keep reading.
Now let's go to Diane for a very special demonstration.
Now we can't all skate like Leah, but we can get started on working on a healthier you. Today, joining me in the studio, we have yoga master Carol Ann Williams. Thank you for joining us, Carol Ann.
Thank you. It's happy to be here.
So happy to have you. Now, let's get started with touching on the point of why do you love being a yoga instructor? What is so wonderful about that job?
I think that to be a good yoga instructor, you really have to like to help other people. I think that service to others, that quote, leads to greatness, is very true when it comes to the teaching of yoga. I like to work with various yoga methods, using not only the traditional teachings, but the modern variations as well, drawing analogies for students so that they can paint beautiful mental images as they flow and reflect through their pose, their breath, and the true essence of living in the moment.
Now, this sounds like an ideal job, but can you share with us the benefits while we work through one of the poses, maybe?
Absolutely. So let's come to the front of our mat. The most important two pieces of props that you need to practice yoga is your beautiful body and your mind. So it's all about the Ujjayi breath. Let's bring our hands to prayer, drawing your left thumb over the right, always using yin-yang energies. So we're going to gently place our tongue behind our front teeth, and we're going to work with our nostril breath. So diaphragmatic breathing in through the nostril. It's begin to calm the central nervous system out through the nostril. So let's work on one of the beautiful linking poses, downward facing dog. Finding that beautiful softness in your face. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward, bend the knees, step back into downward facing dog. Keep your feet hips distance apart. Draw your armpits slightly inward, down towards the earth. And remember to relax the crown chakra. Draw your chest towards your thighs. Remember, inhale pleasure and exhale those stale moments as you draw your sacrum towards your heels. Beautiful. Try and hear that vibration in your throat chakra. You want to really calm and open the body. Take one more beautiful breath. Let's look towards the front of the mat. Come on our tippy toes and hop forward. Draw that beautiful body all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. How do you feel?
Awesome. That feels awesome.
Beautiful. Clarity, balance, yes, stability.
Everything. Now, we've seen the benefits and we've learned and we heard them. Who can practice yoga? Is this open for everyone?
Absolutely. Yoga is actually not about the shape of your body, but more about the shape of your life. So whether it be that child at 6 or that wonderful senior citizen that keeps an open mind, the clarity of mind, working for its balance and clarity. So we're going to work through another pose, Warrior Two, that really shows us the depth of our yoga practice. Let's take a nice inhale, nostril breathing, and stepping back with your right foot. Nice wide step, and draw that body into Warrior Two. Deepen your Ujjayi breathing, finding the ocean breath or the ebb and flow. Keep a deep bend in that front knee. Beautiful. Let's draw that front hand all the way down. Draw up that hand, look way up towards the sky. Beautiful, reaching way up. And remember, yoga is all about the breath, so connecting that breath to the body. Take a beautiful inhale. Let's come into an extended side angle. So you're going to draw your hand, you're going to scoop the waters from the well and roll that rib cage and let those waters cascade over your body as you feel the breath of life through your diaphragm. Beautiful. Taking one more breath, a little bit harder than it looks, isn't it?
A little bit, yes.
And let's slowly draw this arm down and bring yourself back up into Warrior Two. Beautiful, nice balance. Draw that back arm forward and then step up to Samastitihi. How do you feel?
I feel awesome.
Just a little taste?
It's very good. I would suggest it to anyone. I feel very relaxed. I don't even think I can finish the interview. Now, I am aware that you're opening a business. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. My business partner, Robert Chelsea, and I have just opened Ebb and Flow Yoga, Inc. Our advertising and locations we are working on at the present moment, so stay tuned. We are in the west end of the city, so we're really excited about the possibilities.
Thank you so much for sharing
You're
this with
so
us. I'm sure a lot of viewers will benefit. For more information, visit ebbandflow@hotmail.ca. Thank you and namaste.
Namaste.
Last night, your Toronto Maple Leafs beat the New Jersey Devils by a score of 4-2. Toronto started the game off well with a goal in the first period, but New Jersey quickly took the lead in the second with 2 goals by Marek Zidlichki. Toronto came back in the third period with 3 goals, winning them the game. They're now tied for 5th place with Ottawa in the Eastern Conference, whom they are playing tomorrow night. Should be a pretty exciting Battle of Ontario there, although the Leafs will be without tough guy Mike Brown, who was traded just a few days ago. Didn't hurt them against New Jersey, hopefully won't hurt them against Ottawa. So, Diane, you look relaxed.
I'm very relaxed right now.
You look downright centered. Your chi is unbelievable.
I know, I feel it. It's just, the energies of the planet are just gracing me and I'm just, sorry, I'm, okay.
You know what? No, I'm jealous. I saw your yoga session. I needed to get me one in today too. Going for a little hot yoga later on.
Well,
you know, join if you can fit 2 in a day.
We can, I'm down. Carol Ann was like a really great teacher and I think you would have enjoyed her teaching.
I would have.
Yoga was...
Invite me next time, maybe.
I will, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You didn't know. You didn't know to invite me, but just maybe next time include me.
Do you think you would benefit from yoga?
I do. I mean...
Do you feel stressed today?
I feel a little bit, I'm not limber enough. I want to just get my stretches on, my muscles going.
Very nice. Well, tomorrow on the show, we'll be having a special surprise guest from one of Toronto's hottest restaurants, showing us how to make a quick, healthy dish at home.
We'll also be talking more about figure skating and getting a taste of culture at a local Brazilian cafe.
Now, we've learned a lot about yoga today.
And figure skating too. Leia was on the show.
It's like we had an athletic kind of healthy day because it's important to stay healthy out there.
Absolutely. Be healthy, looking good. That's what Daily TO does, clearly.
Yes.
You know, Reno, that big tweet.
Reno, you can call
yoga's
me.
Working for you.
Give me a shout.
Yeah.
And we can work out an interview.
Of course.
Very
of course, an interview first.
An interview first.
Professional interview.
Yes. Remember that if you have
dinner.
any questions, you can send them to us at Twitter. What is our Twitter?
Hashtag Daylight TO show. I just figured if it does yoga, it can be hashtag, you know?
Hey, well.
That's our show for today. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Diane. See you all tomorrow.